Hey everyone, it's Jonathan here, founder of Driving Academy. In today's video, we're going to be discussing how do you become a port driver. So to become a truck driver is one thing, but to become a truck driver that has access to drive in the ports all across America is something completely different. So in this video, we're going to give you a step-by-step guide on how to officially become a port driver and the things that you have to know, the ins and outs on exactly how to get that if that is your goal. But before we actually get into that, let's really define what port driver means. So another name for them is going to be drayage drivers. Now pretty much what they do is they go to the seaports all across the country and they actually pick up containers that are coming from the ships. Now we all know that America is not a country that manufactures a bunch of things to ship it all over the world. It's actually a buyer and a consumer of a lot of different products all over the world itself. And the majority of those products actually come by boat. These boats are huge, they're massive, and they have thousands of containers on it, which means every container needs one truck to actually transport that thing out of there. So the job of an actual port driver is to drive within about 100 to 300 mile radius from the port itself. And the job is to actually go to the port, pick up a loaded container and drop it off at a few different spots. So it could be at a local warehouse that's nearby, it could be at a shipping yard itself where it's like a holding yard where there's a lot of companies where they say, okay, driver A is going to just go to the port and back and drop off the trailer at the yard, at the holding dock, and then driver B is going to go pick up the trailers and go make these longer deliveries as needed. Another place that they might be going to is going to be like a train yard. So there's going to be a lot of shipping containers that go from the boat onto the train itself, but a truck actually has to bring it to the actual train yard because that crane and stuff is too far away from the actual train yard itself, right? So the other thing that you have to do is that you actually have to bring the empty containers back to the port so they can now stack them up and reload them and get them to the next destination itself. So anything that has to do with port is going to be a port driver or a drayage driver. It's a huge industry and there's a whole lot of benefits to that. You want to make sure you're checking out the next video where we're going to specifically talk about the benefits of being a port driver itself. So let's talk about the steps of actually becoming a port driver. So the first thing that you do have to understand is pretty much there's two main steps here. Step number one is you're going to have to get a CDL license first and foremost. And specifically, you're going to have to get a CDL Class A license. Because the reason why you're going to need a CDL Class A is simply because you're going to be transporting these containers. And these containers are going to be put on what's called a chassis, which is going to be a trailer, and you're just going to be moving that container around. Containers are going to come in many different sizes, which means as small as 20 feet and as big as 53 foot long itself. And some of these things actually have no roofs on them because of the odd objects that they have to transport across the sea, and now you're going to have to transport to the final destination. So when it comes to actually getting a CDL license, having the true understanding of how to transport any trailer out there is going to be super important. So a lot of schools out there, what they'll do is they'll actually just get you ready to pass the road test. I was actually speaking to somebody before, and they actually, in the school that they went to, actually had markings on the ground, and pretty much they were taught, okay, when your truck gets to this marking, turn right. When your truck gets to that marking, turn left. And then you'll be able to rock and roll. All they're doing is getting them ready for the real test. Here at Driving Academy, we like to say our job is to help you get on the road to freedom. And that becomes super important if you want to become a port driver and you're in the process of getting your CDL license itself. So you want to go to a school that's going to train you on many different size trailers, because when you actually get into the port, like I said, you're not going to be able to control what type of trailer you're going to get that day. It's going to be your job just to make sure that you're transporting that from point A to point B in a safe way. So in order to actually get a CDL license, for people who don't know, it's a simple two-step process. Step number one, you first have to pass a few different written tests to get yourself a CDL permit. Step number two, you're going to have to pass a 2.5 hour long road test to get your actual license. Here at Driving Academy, we have what we call our guarantee training courses. This is where we can give you over 100 hours of training plus unlimited tries at the test, which means you're going to keep going for the test until you pass at no extra cost to you. That being said, it's going to make sure that you're investing in yourself and you're going to be guaranteed the result that you're after, as long as you don't give up on yourself, because we're not here to give up on you. So once you actually get your CDL license, now are you ready to become a port driver? Not yet. You still have one more hoop to jump through, and that is you have to go get a TWIC card. Now TWIC specifically stands for Transportation Worker Identification Credential, and pretty much what that does is that actually helps you get access to all these secure sites. Just like an airport, a seaport is the same type of thing. Who have gone through background checks can work in an airport. Same thing when it comes to a seaport. So understanding that is you're going to have to go through a background check where they're going to check your criminal history, they're going to check your driving record to make sure that you are safe, because the safety standards are super high there, right? and you want to make sure that everything is good and you're not going to start robbing things in that secure environment where a lot of things are coming in from overseas. So in order to actually get a TWIC card, it's pretty simple. You're going to have to go online to the TSA website, or you can just do a quick Google search, TWIC card. And the way it's going to work is you're going to have to fill out an application online, go to a fingerprint center, get your fingerprints taken, and then from there they're going to do a background check. Background check can take anywhere from 2 to kind of 4 weeks, depending on how far back they have to go and how questionable your history actually is. And then if you are approved, they will send you over your actual TWIC card. And once you have your TWIC card, it's going to be good for 5 years, and make sure that you carry that with you at all times. So now anytime you are going into the port, you're going to have to show your TWIC card, scan it in so they're able to track who's in and who's out, and they already know who you are because you already went through the background check. Every 5 years you are going to have to renew this TWIC card itself to make sure nothing crazy has happened in your past, and if something does happen when you do have a TWIC card, cancel you out of actual having the TWIC card itself. So 2 things that you're going to need to be successful is going to be a CDL license and a TWIC card, and we kind of gave you the main idea for both of them. The other thing that's going to be a bonus is going to be a safe driving record. So even in your car, if you don't have a lot of accidents, it's going to be a bonus, because once you actually get into the ports, the safety standards are extremely high. They're going to over-exaggerate the safety because it's a lot of moving parts, a lot of moving machinery, and people can get hurt. So that means if you have a lot of questionable things on your driving history, getting a port job is probably not going to be the easiest thing to do. And then, so once you get a TWIC card, once you get your CDL license, once you actually have a safe driving record, now it just comes down to what job to pick. So the cool thing about being a student here at Driving Academy is we actually have lifetime job placement. So we actually can help you out. If specifically you want to work in the port, we have contacts for that. If you're just somebody who's not a Driving Academy student and you went through this process, how do you actually find a port job on your own? Of course, you can always look on Indeed, look online, but the coolest thing to do is actually go and find the companies who are actually working the port that you want to work in. Some of the bigger companies out there are going to be like the shipping container companies. They also have trucking companies associated to them. That might be a great way to go, but big companies like Schneider have a division for ports, and even Warner do as well. So if you really start to understand how these things work out, it's going to make the whole process a lot easier and streamlined. Now, question might be, well, what are the benefits of actually becoming a port driver? And for that, you're going to have to watch the next video, and make sure you subscribe so when we do post this video, you're going to be able to hit that bell notification button and you're able to see the new information that comes on out. So if you have any questions or you want to get a CDL license, definitely check out our website, cdldrivingacademy.com. We have locations that are planning to open up nationwide, and if there's no location near you yet, check out our website and go to the locations page, find Linden, New Jersey, and they're able to help you out no matter what state that you're actually coming in from. So one more time, cdldrivingacademy.com. We can't wait to help you get your CDL license so you can become a port driver. Thanks, and I'll see you soon. Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like it, make sure you hit that like button. Also, subscribe to our channel. It's really going to help us out. Click on that button. And if you want to continue yourself on your road to freedom, here's more videos to watch. There's endless amounts. Hopefully we get to see each other one day very soon. Thanks.